Hi, I'm Nick and this is the TBT channel. Welcome to this video about the Umarex Legends Luger P08 air pistol. This is the full magazine blowback version of the Umarex Legends P08. They do a non-blowback as well. Which is slightly cheaper. This isn't expensive. These are not an expensive pistol, but the non-blowback is slightly cheaper. I wanted the blowback one because I want BB pistols. Really, for me, it may differ for you, but for me, a BB pistol is about enjoyment. It's about fun. It's not about pinpoint accuracy. If you've watched any of my videos, you will have discovered that I love shooting. I'm not a target shooter. I don't take it seriously. I enjoy shooting. I enjoy the sensation of firing a gun. I enjoy watching a tin can fly in the air after it's been hit. That's where I'm at with my shooting. This fulfills every need. Air pistols do. Air pistols rock. Okay, there's no two ways about it. Even cheap air pistols, you'll have heard me bang on about those. You cannot have more fun for the money than with a cheap air pistol. So I got this. I got this because it's a Luger P08. Who doesn't love a Luger? In my other Luger video, I think it was the gun shop one where I found a Luger, we got talking about the TV series in the 70s, or in fact it was a book in the 70s and then a children's BBC TV series in the 80s that first made me, little 8, 9, 10-year-old Nick, discover that there is such a thing as a Luger and how awesome it is. That series, incidentally, and thank you to everybody who commented on that, was called The Machine Gunners. So that started off a 40-year obsession with Lugers. And today we're going to have a look at this. And the reason this is going to be so good is because I can actually, for you, because if you're in, some countries don't allow handguns, okay? I think there's North Korea and the UK. Apart from that, you can have one. But if you're watching this now from North Korea or the UK, you can't have a handgun. So this will be the closest you'll ever have to having a real one. But you'll always think, but how close to a real one is it? So I've got my real one here. Now, this is exciting. I ordered you'll have remembered from when I bought this, I wanted a Luger tool. I had Luger tool envy. So I went on Tinterwebs looking for a Luger tool, and I found a Luger tool complete with a leather holster. Now, obviously it's brand new. It's not period or anything like that. But inside of here, look, I've got a Luger tool. But we'll have a look at the holster and we'll have a look at the fit of the holster in a while. But what we're going to be doing today is comparing the Umarex to the real pistol. Now, it is empty, the magazine. In fact, there's a little magazine holder on the edge of my holster there. Look, there's the magazine. The gun is empty. If I insert the magazine, lock the toggle back, remove the magazine, there you can see it is safe and clear. You'll put him to one side, but what we're going to be doing is taking a look at this and saying, does it look anything like that? And that's it. That's the question. It's not going to fire like it because this is a BB. That's a 9mm. But does it look like it? Does it feel the same? And I'm keen to find out. I did sort of do this video many years ago, sort of, but it wasn't my Luger. I was trying to compare one against. I couldn't really get the access I wanted to take it apart and check all the oily bits. So this should be good. Now, what have we got in here? First of all, I've got an instruction book. It's quite a thick instruction book, but it's in lots of different languages, so that might be why. Do not operate without a magazine. Okay, do not operate without a magazine. We'll have a look, see if we can figure out why. Allen key, presumably for doing up the CO2 bulb. And in some other squeaky polystyrene. Oh, the pistol. Now, that feels nice. It feels nice. Just initially picking that up. I'm just going to pop the box there. Initially picking it up, that feels good. Show this is out the box. Let me just check. No CO2 in there. no BBs in the magazine. So there's that, and there's that. Now, wow, they feel remarkably similar. Remarkably similar. The weight, the feel, the balance, little heavier than that one, I think. A little. Let's find out. I did actually bring a scale downstairs with me because this is something I wanted to check. Have I got batteries in there? I didn't check that. The real one, Son's magazine Chargeur, is 809 grams. The Umarex one, without its charger magazine, 732 grams. So that's not an awful lot in it. And I can tell you that the magazine is heavier than the genuine one. So let me put it on with the magazine and a CO2 bowl. Let's pop that there. The CO2, the magazine, and the gun is 888 grams. Now that's lucky if you're Chinese. If you are Chinese and you know why that's lucky, leave a comment below. 888. So that's 808. Add the magazine, 869. So there's actually more weight in this one when it's got the CO2 and it's got the magazine in it than it has in the admittedly empty Luger we have here. Shouldn't have put that in. Don't need to put that in, but it is empty. So that feels good. I'm gonna great feature on a Luger. It's lovely. They are lovely guns. Then they lock open like that with the traditional top slide automatics that we have nowadays. When you want to, it locks back like that when the magazine's empty. You put in a new magazine and you pull the slide back and it goes ka-ching, you see the thing, and it's lovely. With this, you just hit it backwards and it goes forwards like that. It's lovely. Now, let's see if this does the same. I don't know if this does the same or if there's a release. It does the same. Not with as much gusto, because the spring's not as strong. Obviously, the spring on that's tough. That is tough to pull back, but that's to absorb the recoil of the 9mm. Any weaker and it would smash the gun to pieces, whereas this has to be pushed backwards by CO2, so it's not as strong. I'm putting that in there because it says not to operate the trigger without the magazine, and when we look at the magazine, the reason is evident. That's your valve there. So if the striker from this, whatever it is, isn't hitting that, it's going to go forwards without any resistance and you risk damaging things. So we'll put the magazine into it and we'll just try the trigger. Predictably not very good. And we shall do the same with this, which I happen to already know is even worse. So the trigger, I mean, I say it's not very good. That is very unfair. That was unfair of me to say it. And as I was saying that, I was thinking, I shouldn't have said that. It's perfectly acceptable for a CO2 air pistol. Let me just bring that down, bring that across, put the magazine in so I can do it again. If you watch that, you've got quite a bit of movement there. It's not a stage, it's just taking up spring tension. And then it goes. Whereas with this one, that one up, magazine down, close that. If you watch that one, it's a definite stage. That's actually just a first, it's not a real first stage, but it's the first pull of the trigger to a stop. But then watch what happens. You pull it through the stop, and at some point it goes off. That is a truly awful trigger. That's actually better. I prefer that trigger on the real thing. So let's look at them side by side. Now, the one thing that I noticed about this is from 1917, by the way. It's stamped on there 1917 and 1920. The 17 is when it was originally manufactured. The 1920 is when it was rebarreled to conform with the Treaty of Versailles. The serial numbers on this, I think I counted them once. They're on it many, many times. It's here, it's there, it's on the barrel, it's on that bit, it's on the safety, it's on the top, it's on the back, it's on the firing pin inside it, and all sorts. And they have tried to do that with this one. So we've got the number there, we've got the number there, and do you know what? That's all it's on there for. It's just those couple. But it's, you know, they have looked at the original, thought, well, what's the original got? What should we put on it? So the stampings. I like that. I like that. It's very black. It's painted black, or it's a black finish of some sort, presumably on alloy, whereas these were blued. This is over 100 years old. In fact, it's 108 years old. So there's somewhere to the bluing. I know you can get a battle finish one of these. I know you can get those, and I saw that, but I can't. My mind cannot deal with a gun that comes to you ready scuffed, a new one. That one's scuffed because it's 108 years old. That's fine. I can deal with that. But buying a brand new one that's just been scuffed to make it look old. I don't know if you're into electric guitar or guitars at all, but electric guitars, there was a fad for a while. I don't know if they're still doing it. If they are, I'm just blocking it out in my mind, where they used to supply guitars already scratched and ruined, like they've been to lots of gigs. Oh, I hated that so much. Anyway, so let's see the looks. They are very similar. The safety on that, I've got a little dot of red paint to show that it's not safe. On this one, I haven't. When I bring that down, it says, let me get my glasses. It says, Gessi hurt, or whatever it is. It's what that'll be German for safe, I'm sure. Germans, please let me know what it says. And it says the same behind that one there. So that is authentic. That's quite good. The jointing of that looks very similar to how it does on that one. Obviously the extractor is real on this one. It's a fake extractor on that one. But I mean, look, you can put these right next to each other and the dimensions are the same everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. The front sight looks a little different. It's very, very small difference. They're wind adjustable. That one's got rounded edges, that one's got squared edges. It's not an awful lot of difference at all. I'm not sure if it actually is adjustable, if it's just molded to look it. But that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Every detail on this is very, very close. I'm not a member of the deer family, or antelope. Is it antelope? Well, I'm going to do some close-ups towards the end of this, but I want to do this part first, and then we'll do some close-up shots. Now, on picking this up, one thing that is immediately obvious is that feels hollow and quite plasticky. But I'll let you into a little secret here. When I first picked this one up in the shop, that bit there feels a little bit hollow, and believe it or not, plasticky. It's wood grips, but it's very hollow. You can hear that. There's nothing behind there at all. It's just held on by this screw. And I'm thinking that is just held on by this screw. And if I was in a country that stops me from having a real one of these, one of the things I would do to make it more authentic is to see if I could get a pair of grips that look like that, because I've never seen one with black grips in real life. So, oh, sorry, I've just noticed something here. You know, I get distracted. The safety catch, that little piece there is the safety catch, okay? That comes up and down with there. That's what blocks the trigger. And the serial number is stamped onto the safety catch there. The serial number is stamped onto the safety catch here. When it goes up and down like that, it's stamped on it. Another great detail. Honestly, these are so good. These really are so good. And what was I talking about? Grips. Should I? Tell you what, let's get a screwdriver. Do these come off? First of all, do these come off the same as the screw's undoing. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work. I've not tried. I'm trying this live on air. Let's see if they're interchangeable. The the screw thread is different on that one to that one. Not that that really matters, but let's see. Let's see. It's close, but no cigar. That's a shame. That really is a shame. It's very, very close to going on there, but it's just wrong for the mag release. But that's all. If that mag release was different, I expect. In fact, I expect with a small file, some sandpaper, and a few minutes, you could make that work. I might be wrong. If you try this on my say-so and it doesn't work, don't blame me. I'm just saying it might. Let's try the other side, because you haven't got the mag release on the other side. I did see on the AGF, the Airgun Forum UK, one of the guys on there, because before buying this gun, is that going to come off easily? Give it a wiggle. Yes, it is. Before buying this gun, I went on there and said, look, what's currently the best of the replicas? Because if you're going to buy a replica, why wouldn't you? And they're not very much money. Why wouldn't you buy the best one? And I was told this is still the best one. And he put a photo of his, and he had brown grips on there. Now, I'm not sure if he simply painted his black grips. I'm not sure if they're aftermarket plastic brown grips, or I'm not sure if they're aftermarket wooden brown grips. But it'd be interesting to find out. He did tell me. It is in there. I'm not saying the guy didn't tell me. He did. I've forgotten. These things happen. Oh, now the size is pretty much correct. But I'm thinking if I have a look at this one, there is some amount of finagling going to need to be done just to make it work around the whole magazine area, because this has got the action, the spring and everything inside of there. And I'm pretty sure if you go on Tinterwebs and look for a set of replica Luger P08 grips, you're going to be able to find a set of wooden ones for not too much money that would make it worthwhile buying them to see if you can adapt them. And I'm thinking I might do that myself. Maybe. Let's see if it goes the other way. Let's see if that one goes on there. No, it doesn't, because it's got a plastic tab there that locates into something on there that this gun simply doesn't have. So you can't, if you own a Luger P08 from the First World War, you can't buy an Umarex blowback one to replace the grips if they've gone. That is not an option. Not that you would. But wow. I mean, just wow. It's so close. And the reason I'm saying about this is because this magazine, it's a magazine holder, this holster, it's obviously, you know, it's got Otto Sindel Berlin 1938. Oh, and a pretty little swastika on the back. I didn't know that when I got it. Never mind. You can buy all kinds of reproduction stuff now, because I did look at getting an authentic holster, because it's an authentic First World War pistol. I thought, well, it'd be good if I could get the original holster that it would have come with. That would be why are you not working? That would be a nice thing to have. And I went and I searched, and I did many searches in many places, and I found them, but they were all invariably £300 to £500, which is, some might say, excessive for a holster. Oh, there you go. You have to put the back in first. Right, let's put this back together. Talk amongst yourselves, because, you know, sorry for taking things apart. I shouldn't take things apart, should I? Well, maybe I should. I don't know. Just can't leave well enough alone. I'm curious. That's all it is. Now, this tiny little thread that we have on here, so it's a different thread. That makes it somewhat tricky to start it off in the hole. You will go in the... There we are. You will go in there. He has gone in there. No, he hasn't. Oh, you blighter. For you, the war is over. Maybe it's the wrong screwdriver. Where's my favourite screwdriver's in my pocket? Obviously. I was out earlier. I had to take him with me. It gets lonely. Why was it in my pocket? How did I remember it was in my pocket? That's quite a look at that. Look at that. First time. No, it isn't. Now, Umarex, what are you doing with these screws? What's going on? Oh, you actually have to put some pressure on to start it off. Unusual, but it's in, which means this side should be so much easier. God, this is cacking it. I am sorry. Behave. So, screwdriver, grip, screwdriver. Now, it is entirely possible, nay, probable, that aftermarket grips already exist specifically to fit the Umarex. And if that is the case, again, if somebody could just put a comment down below, because there may be people who've got the Umarex one that think, actually, I'd quite like a set of wooden ones or brown ones that look good. So that's the only thing about that pistol that really screams, I'm not real, is that. And if you got the battle worn one, well, obviously, is it battleground finish? I can't remember. That would look more authentic. There we go. Now for another one. Stripping the Luger down. We are going to strip these to see if it is the same. So, magazines out. Okay. That likes the toggle to be back before the magazine will come out. Unusual. Magazine out. Bring that back down flat. Now, the way to strip this gun down is you push back the barrel, because that is the recoil. That's the whole top of that gun with the barrel moves backwards and forwards to rack the next round. So you need to move it back a small amount, and then this little toggle here comes down. So that there, that toggle down, and then this is the locking plate, which I probably need my Luger tool for. I haven't used my Luger tool yet. Where should I prise it from? There. Excuse me. Now, once that has been removed, more stampings, you simply pull that forward like that, and the whole top of the gun comes off, exposing the pistol grip and the interior. Let's see if that's the same. Now, you don't have to do that with this one. It will just pull down of its own volition. But then, let us get our Luger tool in there and prise him up. And that should now mean that pulls forward in exactly the same manner. That's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's compare these pieces first. Again, very similar weight, very similar feel. The same size, the same cutouts. Wordly Wordington. What? That is good. That is good. Pom 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 pom. Now, I can take my trigger out there. Oh, and I can on this one as well. So the trigger removal, once you've got that top part off, the trigger just wiggles out to that side, to the left hand side, pushes out there to clean all the gubbins out from the trigger. And I've got another serial number stamped on the trigger there. On this one, I haven't got the serial number stamped on it, but it does pull out in exactly the same way. That's exciting. Now let's compare the actions, the top parts. They are so similar. So very similar. Incredible, really. So the next section for taking this one apart, the next thing to do is this toggle here is held on by this pin, and this pin simply pushes out with something brass. That pushes out of there, which means my toggle can now be removed. So I can now see it down in my barrel. Let's see if it is the same on this. Now, I'm not going to hold my breath on this one. Why would they want you taking this part off? I mean, frankly, I wouldn't. If I'd made this gun, I'd be watching this video shouting and screaming, "Stop taking the bloody gun apart! You'll break it!" And that's what they've done. That doesn't come off there. Or if, at least if it does, it's not as obvious as to how. And in fact, looking through there, you can see that is a faux pin. So maybe... Oh, quel fromage! What have we got here? What have we got here? That little pin in the centre pushes out. Now, this could all go bing all over the room now. I'm going to put that there. That was exciting, wasn't it? So we've got the barrel, we've got the toggle, and we've got the recoil spring. That's all excellent. And there we are, we've got the faux barrel inside of there that the actual barrel goes into. Now that does mean, with a bit of cunning, we could change that barrel if we wanted. Not that I particularly want to, but I'm sure it wouldn't take much work to turn it into a 2.2 or even replace that with a rifled barrel for use with lead BBs, because you can get lead 4.4s, I believe. Too much trouble. It's not worth it. It is not that kind of a gun. What have I done? It's fine. It's fine. That goes into there. That goes into there. It's a very soft spring. So let me just have a look at the arrangement and how these two live together. Is it that way up or is it the other way up? It is that way up. That gets fed into there. That goes into there. Thusly, like that. So that to there, that to there. Pop him onto that. Push it all together again. But you can take it apart further should you want to. And although that's not going to be particularly useful for cleaning it, because I don't think you'd really need to go that far in for cleaning it, it's great for repairs. Because one thing you do have to do with BB guns, alloy BB guns, if they're used extensively, is they will eventually wear parts out. And with that, that means you can replace any parts inside of there or repair any parts inside of there quite easily. So it does strip down pretty much as exactly the same as the real thing does. Let's just have a look to see, because I'm curious. That doesn't fit on there. I suppose if we think about it logically, it's quite right that it shouldn't. But let me also remember which way up this goes and check if it is ever thus the other way. That onto there, that onto there. Where's me pin? Pins? There we go. Push him through there. Lock him down. Right. The real one starts to go on there, but won't. The pretend one won't. Pretend the replica, the CO2 blowback replica, won't even start to go on the real one. So there's no way of monkeying around with these, trying to discover a way of putting the wrong bits on. I mean, it would be catastrophic if you succeeded in getting it on there and tried to do anything with it. Absolutely catastrophic. So don't worry too much that you can't do that. Where's that one to go? Now, the trick with putting a real one back together again is you've got this little groover here, and there's a little aperture for him to go into there. So what you need to do is you put the gun upside down and you take it back until it's in the right place. Then you turn it the right way up and it falls into the correct place, like that, like that. And that evidently isn't the right place. into the right place. I've not had this gun very long, as you can probably tell. There we are. There we are. That onto there, locking plate onto there. Down a little bit till the locking plate goes into position. Toggle back up. Result. That's the real one back together. Now let's try it with the Umarex one. I don't have to do the upside down bit because we haven't got that toggle that locates into the bit there because it operates differently. But that goes back to there, and that's lovely. And once it's into position, we simply get the locking plate into there, and that's it. Let me just find my magazine. So back, cock, locked, down, release, take it off of safety. There we go. That is awesome. Right, let me just set a camera up. It's going to take me a couple of minutes. I'm going to put you on pause, set a camera up, and we'll get some lighting, and I'll try and show you in more detail, close up, how great a job I think Umarex did with this pistol. Yes, let's do that now. Here we go. Now this is the original, and as you can see, here's the parts I mean about the stampings of the serial number. They're kind of dotted all over the place. They're on here, they're on the extractor, on the back of the gun. Every single piece of this has been marked, and all the serial numbers on this one match. Obviously, we're not expecting everything to be marked on this one, but you can see that they have. And where's the safety one? I really like that. That was a pleasant surprise. Up there as well, look, on the safety. They've really made an effort to make this as realistic as possible. And having a look at them there from that angle, it's just, it is absolutely incredible. The shiny black finish really is kind of what you'd expect it to have looked like when it was brand new and came out of the factory. So it's not a criticism, because it is a brand new gun, not 100 odd years old. You've got the safety stampings under there. Now, obviously we have to have white writing saying this isn't a real gun on it somewhere. That's just inevitable, but at least it's under the barrel where it's not immediately obvious. And if we turn them over, if I show you the front sights, you can see on the original it is actually adjustable, whereas on the Umarex copy it's just a moulding. But it's a moulding that's had somebody sit there and think, do you know what, the original had this, let's make it look like that. And they've done that at every stage in every part of this gun, and that's why I think this is possibly my favourite of the replica CO2 air pistols. And that really is it. In a nutshell, if you live in an oppressive regime where you can't have the real thing, this is about as close as you're going to get. It looks fantastic. It feels fantastic. And with a gun like this, the feel is the thing. You want to pick it up and think, yeah, that's you know, that's what a real one feels like. And I can tell you, if you haven't had the chance, that is exactly what the real one feels like. Exactly. Change those grips over if you can. Please, if you know where you can get some, leave a comment in the comments below with a link, preferably. As far as shooting it goes, I'm not shooting it today on the video simply because I'm inside, I'm in the basement, these fire BBs. Even with my backstop, I'm worried they'll be pinging around all over the place. I have fired one before. The recoil on these, the blowback system is strong, it works well. Obviously it's not going to recoil like a 9mm, but it recoils enough to be fun. And I think a shooting video, I can do a shooting video on these two if people want me to do that. I think it could be fun. Let me know. Let me know. Like, subscribe, hit notifications. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.